Look, I'm massive relief, a lot of euphoria, even more pride. You know, we came into a club that was going backwards, and we had to arrest that, and then before we could take it forward. I think we've done. It's not just the results that have got us to the championship, it's the way we've done it and how we've built, how we've galvanised the football club, how we've got everyone back to believing that Charlton can be a great club again, because it is a great club, great people right throughout. Those people have kept the club alive through some difficult times, and today was just a culmination of probably 16 months work, a lot of belief, a lot of sacrifice. And I'm just so proud of the whole football club, everyone, you know, fans especially, 44,000 turning up today, 45,000. All the owners were here today. They saw what a football club they bought. They bought a shell of a club. Now they're seeing something totally different. And then just every member of staff who's worked hard, and then the players deserve huge credit because they've gone through some stuff. They've had to sacrifice a lot. They've had to put up with me demanding from them, which isn't easy at times, you know. And it's a culmination of a lot of work.
17th place finish last year, so it just shows.
16th, I think.
16th, yeah. So a massive turnaround that you've had to do. It's how much work and effort has gone into do that, and this obviously is a massive reward for it.
It's unfathomable how much work's gone into it, and you can't quantify the amount of work that's gone into it, because every single sleepless night, every single phone call when you're on holidays, every single time I've slept at the training ground, every single time my family's had to sacrifice not seeing me, and my daughter goes to school without seeing me. All those things, it's unquantifiable, the amount of work that goes into it, but we do it for moments like this. And it means so much to see the club united in such a way, because this is a huge football club. It's a huge football club, and I'm so proud of everyone at the football club. And today was a showcase of what a great club Charlton is.
Just sure, I mean, it's a 1-0 win. Yeah, you kept clean sheets through all three of the playoff games as well. It just should be, I think, 24 clean sheets during the season as well. So it just shows how wonderful you've been.
Yeah, I think it's 26 clean sheets, and what we had to do was build a structure where we were difficult to beat, and then you can add from that structure. You don't build a house and put the roof on before you actually build the foundation. So we've had to build foundations and keep clean sheets, and from keeping clean sheets we can then score goals. We weren't fluent today in any way, shape or form. It wasn't a spectacle, it wasn't vintage, it wasn't any way, but I don't really care, you know. At the end of the day, when after 111 minutes, when the referee blows the whistle, after everything we've been through, that is the culmination, and that's what I'm really proud of. And as I said, we've come a long way, and we've had to build something, and we have. Now we have to add more quality. We have to continue to move forward, because now we go into a different environment, and it's slightly less forgiving.
Nathan, you're much too gracious to hark back to a short time at Southampton, but football gods move in mysterious ways, don't they? Next season you'll be taking them on as equal partners in the Championship, and you've done it the hard way, haven't you?
Yeah, but look, I don't believe in football gods. I believe in my God, and everything that we have to, you know, believe in everything, and everything is God's will, and it takes you to certain places. At times I've been to some obscure places, and they've stood me in good stead, or they've come back and rewarded me. To be fair, as I said earlier on, me going to Southampton was a sad time, because I just wasn't accepted. But I'd earned my stripes, and I'd done League 2, League 1, Championship, and proved in every level I can get results. I actually proved it at Southampton. I got 5 wins out of 14 games. I'm not sure there's a manager since that has actually got that thing. Now, it wasn't meteoric, it wasn't anything, but it was just sad, because I think if I'd flown in from somewhere, then maybe I would have got a little bit more time. But a young Welsh guy from thing maybe wasn't big enough for Southampton, but I'm big enough for Charlton, and I'm very proud of that.
You stopped getting the quadruple as well?
Well, look, those are moments that you remember and so on, but look, we don't look back into the end, and I enjoyed certain things about my time in Southampton. It was a learning curve. It gave me an opportunity to test myself against some top managers, and I'm a better person and better manager for it. But someone who's very successful in life once told me, try not to have too many learning curves.
And Nathan, of course, you spoke earlier about what a massive club this is. It's been out of the Premier League, I think, since 2007. you're not going to just stop here, are you? I mean, you know, you see potential here to get back to the Premier League.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I didn't drop to League One to become a League One manager. I dropped to League One to manage Charlton, and I believed that with a fair wind, with a lot of God's will and a hell of a lot of good work, we could start to build something. Now, you know, we've had a really meteoric rise from 18th or 19th in League One to getting promoted. But first and foremost, we had to finish 4th in the league, and I took an extra 31 points from what we had last year, which is 10 wins and a draw. So that's a big shift in terms of everything, our clean sheets and the structure we built. And then look, we've earned the right now to be a Championship football club. But now the work starts tenfold, because now we're going to an unforgiving environment. We're going to, you know, we were competing with Birmingham's and Wrexham's and Bolton's and Huddersfield's with big budgets. Now we land on a different planet, and we have to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, Richie Whelan says that your club is Championship ready, but maybe not the team as it stands. So a lot of work to be done this summer.
Yeah, but look, it's a good point. The club is Championship ready, but what we have to do, we've gone up really quickly, you know, and in terms of we've had one window really to recruit, so we have to now be meteoric, you know, in terms of everything we do. We need an influx of quality, coupled with what we have, and then we have to make some really tough decisions moving forward. But we'll do that, and the great thing about the groups that I have, they've always been adaptable. You know, we've always adapted to the environment. We've always saw holes in certain things and gone after those holes, and that's the great thing about it. Because with the greatest respect, I had a bottom 3 budget at Luton, and we got to the playoffs, and then they probably had a bottom 6 budget the second year and got to the Premier League. So those are kind of the odds that we work at.
Now, you've had a lot of success. How does this compare with the others? I mean, they're all different, but it must be right up there.
This is categorically the biggest thing, you know, in terms of that. So? Yeah, regardless of going to the Premier League, in terms of being promoted 5 times as a player, playoff campaigns as a manager, as an assistant, and everything. This is the biggest, and it's just because days like this, and now it feels fresh, you know, with 44,000 there singing. It's pride, and to be fair, I was a lot more reserved than where I thought I'd be, because I just wanted to take everything in, because moments like this don't happen often. You know, they don't happen often unless you're Pep or unless you're Klopp or unless you're, you know, Ancelotti. These moments don't happen. But 76,000 here today, I think, in the region, shows that both clubs, you know, have got right behind it. It was a fantastic spectacle, played in the right manner. The referee was fantastic on the day, you know, because you don't even question anything that he did. So I thought it was an excellent spectacle. We could have been more fluent, but hey, I honestly don't care.
And just finally, Nathan, you were saying that obviously your family, you haven't seen a lot of you, you've had to sacrifice not seeing them. Are you going to get a lot of time with them now this summer? How are you going to relax after this?
Oh, you don't relax. What you do is you plan, and then in between the planning, you spend time with the people that are sacrificed for you and things. And I've got, you know, I had 52 people here today in terms of family, friends, and everything. My daughter was a mascot, which was an incredibly proud moment. You know, to walk out with your daughter at Wembley. I mean, that's dream stuff, you know, in terms of that. And I remember that, and I'm sure she will. And yeah, so I will spend time with all the people that I care about, you know, in the world. But there's a lot of hard work, because we're actually 3 weeks behind everyone else.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
What were your thoughts in that 7-minute break where the referee was struggling to get to that interval, that 3-hour thing who weren't even needed?
I don't want to get myself in any trouble or anything, but like, VAR is introduced to make the game better and to think. I'm not sure a 7-minute break because an earpiece doesn't work is better for the game.
I want more about your feelings with how the game was going.
I felt it would help them more, because we finished strongly, we were relentless, we were aggressive, we front-footed, we made positive changes, we brought real athleticism on, and I wanted to finish the game strongly, and I felt it probably gave people a bit of respite, and to go again and to gather themselves, to compose themselves. You know, it would have been over. You know, we would have been promoted 8 minutes sooner otherwise.
And when you think that the other 3 games between Charlton and Leighton are in the season, nearly all the goals have been scored in stoppage time. Was that a bit of a concern?
No, because we scored them. So the longer the game goes on, yeah. Look, the cup one, we made 11 changes. We tried youngsters and people that hadn't played and stuff. That was the only anomaly. But the 3 games we've had with them have been really tight games, tight affairs. So we knew that. the home game was really tight and we scored late. I mean, to be fair, we played excellent away from home, and I know we scored in injury time, but we had massive chances. You know, we should have been ahead before we were, but we didn't, so we left it late, and that was a real galvanised everyone. But I would have taken any win today, literally any win, and we've got that.
Sinead?
Just one from me, guys. You touched on quite a tough couple of years for yourself. Just what was the personal significance of this achievement, this match for you today?
I'm not sure that a couple of years. I mean, I've been very blessed, and I haven't had a tough couple of years, where I had probably 4 months of toughness and then a reflection time. But this means everything to me. Like it unless you're at the very top of your game, like again a Klopp or a Pep or someone, you're going to have tough times. You know, you look at some of the top Premier League managers. You look at Unai Emery. Unai Emery's had tough spells. He had a tough spell at Arsenal. He had to come through that and prove what a great manager he is. Now, I'm not comparing myself with him in any way, but everyone has these times. What you have to do is, when you have them, you have to learn from them, but you have to make sure you don't have too many of them, because eventually you're not going to be able to implement your learning curve, because no one's going to want to employ you. But I've always taken bold jobs. Every job I've taken has been, the club has been in a little bit of turmoil. When I first went to Luton, they were 18th in League Two. They ended up in the Premier League. When I went back to Luton, they were bottom of the table, 7 points adrift with 9 games to go. We stayed up. When I went to Stoke City, well, don't even get me started on that. And then when I went to Southampton, they were on a downward spiral for a long time, and I had one of the worst defensive records. We're getting beaten week in, week out. So I've taken on some real tough jobs, backed myself to do that. Given time, I know I do good work. I believe in the work that we do, and everything. I just need a bit of time. So I'm very proud of today. But I'm proud because the club has come together, shown that the owners' trust and patience and belief. Look, bear in mind, we've only won the League One playoff final. We haven't won the Champions League. But we're in a good place. It's a wonderful day. We're going to celebrate it. And the thing I love is just the fans. You know, this is a great club. I knew it was a great club, and that's why I came here.
Any final questions?
Yeah,
one more here.
Just on the goal, I feel like these games are so often decided by one person standing up in the crowd. Charlton fans might not have predicted that McCauley would be there and match with the goal scorer. When he stood up to take that free kick, do you know he's capable of putting it back in there? Yeah,
I mean, if you actually look deeper, he scored some crucial goals for us. He scored free kicks. He scored like quality. I mean, you will not see a better left foot in football. I mean, he's wonderful. He can do anything with that football. So it was always an opportunity, and they had an opportunity in a similar position and didn't quite take it. So those are the moments. And we had one in the semi-final, really tight game. You know, we probably edged the game, but when the moment came to Matt Gordon, he took it, and that's what we've had, and that's why we bring in people like that in tight games, because when you are trying to achieve something, very rarely are you going to just blow teams away. So when we were having the moments, we just ask for that bit of quality, and we demonstrated that today.
Richie put that down as more perhaps being an error of his ball positioning or the goalkeeper. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
I haven't looked at it yet, and look, I'm not too bothered, if I'm honest.